What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to Bristol Rovers Season 4 Episode 1, and we are finally in the Premier League. And something that I do want to say first of all, I didn't actually realise this, but thank you for the support on the last episode. We managed to hit 50 likes. I do apologise I didn't get this episode up as I promised yesterday. It was just a few complications with my internet and it was very annoying, and it meant that I couldn't upload this video. Very frustrating times, but anyway, we're going to have a look at our pre-contract signing in Mitchell Duke. And look at those stats: 80 strength, 85 acceleration, 84 sprint speed. Not the greatest attack positioning, but hopefully that will be a bit void really, because he's got 83 finishing. That's right, 83 finishing, 77 shot power, and he's only 25, and he costs me nothing. Probably the best signing of this series so far, and hopefully he'll score a lot of goals this season with Ryan Brunt up front. But right here we're going to have a little look at the monthly scouting update as well, as it is the first of the month, and once again it's just absolutely abysmal. You can see we've got £750 a week, or sorry, 750,000 and 3,000 a week, and that is really not enough. So what I'm going to be doing, well, I didn't actually mean to do this. I was going to do it, but I didn't mean to do it, and in the end I think someone did send me a financial takeover. I don't know who it was, but it meant that I do have it. Now, do not dislike the video. Before you do that, see what I'm going to do, because you can see I've got 50 million here, but I'm going to fix it. I did not mean to do this, I promise you, but I am going to fix this. I'm going to eradicate this issue, because I know that you guys will be very frustrated with me at this time. But do not dislike the video yet, because as you can see, we are going to be buying this random player here who is transfer listed. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be spending 40 million on this guy, so at least then I've got a little bit of money to spend. But I didn't actually mean to get a financial takeover. I think someone did send me it, and I don't know if I accepted it. I don't know how it works, but I'm going to be spending basically 4/5 of the money, so 40 million on this random guy, and then I'm going to be releasing him from his contract as soon as he does accept the contract. Could have gone with someone that has a little bit less on his wages, but it doesn't really matter anyway, because we'll be left with 10 million to spend on players, and that will be very tasty indeed. And you can see here that he does accept, of course, and we do sign him, and straight away we are going to be releasing him from his contract, because there's no point in really keeping him, to be honest, because at the end of the day he's just a random player. He's never going to do anything for us, so we're just going to put him on the free agents and release him. So there you can see we do have now around about 8 million to spend on players, and the first player that I was looking at picking up was this arsehole. I mean that in the nicest way possible, and it sounds a bit weird, but he was such an arse to play against last year. So I thought maybe I should get a piece of him. Maybe I should buy him, because he's only valued at about 500,000, which is absolutely nothing. So I decided to offer him plus Vieira, who is on the down at the moment, because he is 34, I do believe now. So he's 33 actually, but he is going down. He was 72 overall, now he's 71. And he's going down in overall and everything like that. So I thought I'd offload him. And we also were interested in a new left back, and that is Mitch Hancock. I've been interested in this guy in quite a while, and all of these players, guys, are either players that I've searched up myself, or players that you guys have wanted me to buy in the past, but I haven't got round to doing it. I'm also going in for Mason Bennett as well, and I'm offering Clayton and 300,000. And I was also interested in Marvin Sordell, but I really doubt we'll be able to sign this guy. He's on 35 grand a week. That would pretty much take up all of our wages. So I was just seeing if Reading would actually accept it if I did offer 4 million, but I doubt they would. And they did actually accept Hamburger SV for Jonathan Tah. I've been trying to sign this guy the whole series since the beginning, and now he's on 15,000 a week. He was only on about £750 a week when I did try and go in for him. And we do actually sign our first player here, and that is George Long. Great signing for us. He's going to be a very good backup goalkeeper, and of course he is English. I'm going to be signing as many English players as I possibly can, because that is what you guys do want to see. And I did ask you guys, and you said maybe it's best that I only sign English players. He's not 6 foot tall. For some reason, EA have messed it up. In game, he's actually 6'3", I do believe. But a 65 overall goalkeeper. In addition to that, we also signed Mitch Hancock, and it is going to be at the sacrifice of Shalliam Logan, plus 500,000, which is pretty much nothing really. And for a left back that's highly rated, I mean, he's 67 overall and he's only 22. He's got some great crossing. He looks like a really good upfield left back, even though he's got medium work rates. But I think he will push up the pitch quite a lot. And we were also interested in James Wallace as well from Tranmere Rovers. And I was interested in picking up this guy because he does have quite a bit of potential on him. And we do get the transfer offer accepted for Mason Bennett as well. He's now 20 years old. He was 19 when I did go for him, so he's obviously only just turned 20. And I was also interested in John Taylor. You guys know that I was interested in him at the end of last season in the January transfer window, and I couldn't quite get him. I couldn't quite get the transfer offer to be accepted. But right here we do actually sign James Wallace, quite expensive actually, £3 million. That's quite a lot of money to spend, but he looks like a decent all-round central attacking midfielder, and I think he'll do some great stuff for us in the BPL. He's got 84 shot power. I'll be sure to try that out as well. The only problem is he's injury prone, which could be a bit of a problem, but hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. And we're going into our first friendly here against Inter Milan. These friendlies, bear in mind, they're just ridiculously hard. I don't understand why EA have decided that we're going to be coming up against these kind of teams. Inter are a massive team, and don't get me wrong, they're a very good team. But I just don't understand how we're meant to beat them in a friendly. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we lose this friendly 1-0 to a Belfodil goal, which is a little bit disappointing. But, you know, we're going to make up for that by signing John Taylor here. And this guy is going to be the successor of Alifi Santos, even though Alifi Santos did absolutely nothing for the club, really. So I don't really see him doing too much. But we're going to have a look at John Taylor right now and look at those physical stats. Holy mother. He is going to be a great right midfielder, and he's got pretty decent dribbling and finishing on him too, with the okay crossing and shot power. Not too bad indeed, and he'll be perfect on that right mid position. 4-star skills as well. That's absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to try him out. But 98 pace. That is just ridiculous. How can you be that fast? I do not know. I really don't. But he's going to be great for us. Maybe we could get him up to 99 sprint speed and 99 acceleration. We will see. I've never done that in FIFA 14, so maybe I could do that with John Taylor. And we also signed 2 new players as well. Mason Bennett, who is going to be the successor of Max Clayton, and also Jonathan Tah. I've been meaning to sign this guy for ages, and now I have. And look at this guy. He looks pretty decent as well, and he's one of the youngest defenders that you can buy on the game. He's currently 20 years old. He can play centre-back and right-back, and he's got the speciality of strength. He's not the quickest, and he's not the greatest at jumping, but Mason Bennett here is also another really good all-round player. He looks pretty decent all-round, and he's got some good stats, and he's only 22, so, you know, that's pretty good. And we got 2 players into the club as well. We've signed a few players in this episode, and that is because of the financial takeover. But of course, we did get rid of some of the money just to make it a bit fair, because otherwise, you know, 50 million, that's just a bit unfair, isn't it now? Just having that amount of money to spend on players and everything. But another friendly, and it was against Hanover. I don't play friendlies, if you guys are wondering, because they're pointless. What is the point in doing them? It's just no point, really. And you may have also been able to see that I was interested in picking up Valentino Lazaro, but unfortunately for that, I just didn't have enough funds, and I begged the Bristol Rovers board for funds, but they just weren't going to listen to me, and it was really frustrating and a real shame, really, because I knew that he'd be a great player at Bristol Rovers. But it's a shame that we won't be able to sign him. Maybe in the January transfer window we'll be able to pick him up. But I was also interested in Robert Hull, and he was playing for Bolton at the time in the last game of the season, and he really did impress me in that game. So I thought maybe it was time to pick him up as well, and I wasn't really sure what player to actually offer, because we've got a lot of players here, and in the end I do offer Graben, I think, or maybe it's Harrison, I can't actually remember, but he's a left midfielder, and he's 22 years old, so that's pretty decent. And when I did play against him in the final game of the season, he was very impressive. So I thought I might as well pick him up. And of course, he is in the BPL now. And he's only on 15,000 a week, which for our budget isn't too bad. But of course, throughout this whole series, I've only been able to purchase players that were on £750 a week, or maybe even 1,000 at the most, because I just don't get given the funds by the boards. And when I do try and offer or try and get some more funds, it just doesn't work. But you can see here in this friendly that we actually draw the game, so we don't actually lose for the first time in the friendly. So 1 draw and 2 losses, not too shabby indeed, considering the teams we came up against. And Wallace did get a goal, his debut goal for Bristol Rovers, and in some good style as well. But you can see we are playing on Legendary here, and if it does get a bit too boring on Legendary, if I don't have too many shots on target, or even the opposition have too many shots on target, because I know that Legendary computer, they do like to pass around quite a lot and not really have that many shots in the game, and that may make it a little bit boring. So if it does get a little bit too boring, guys, I may have to put it down to world class again, and that's not because of like me not having shots, it's just because I won't be able to get the ball off of them, because I've played on legendary before and it's pretty boring, to be honest with you. So I may just put it down to world class. We'll see how the season goes, and if it gets a bit too boring and there's not much happening in the games, then I'm going to have to lower the difficulty. But coming up in the first game against Stoke City, they do have quite a solid side. They've got Skoko up front, which is a very good all-round striker for you to purchase in Ultimate Team. He's very good, and yeah, he proved quite a problem in this game, because right here in the 36th minute, he almost got through and put the ball into the back of net. Well, he did, but he was, luckily for me, offside. And this was the first match in the BPL, and at half-time, this was probably the best highlight. Half-time, yeah, that's right, because literally no shots. Look at this. No shots. I had one shot, but it wasn't even on target. I don't think that's ever happened in this series before. That may get a bit boring for you guys. So if you do want me to change that, then do let me know in the future. But of course, it's only the start, so I will keep it for probably a couple more episodes. And if it does get too boring and there's not that much going on in the games, then I may up the, or not up the difficulty, down the difficulty to world class. And you guys may not be happy with that, but with the side we've got compared to Barclays Premier League sides, we may struggle quite a bit to get some points. And of course, we don't want to get relegated, because that's the last thing we want. We want to get maybe 16th, 17th place. We just don't want to get relegated. It's as simple as that. If we can just avoid that at all costs, then that would be brilliant. But in the 90th minute, the best chance of the game, and it hits the crossbar. Ryan Brunt usually finishes off those chances, but of course it was his first match in the BPL. He was a bit nervous, and in the end he does mess up that chance, and the game does finish 0-0. So not too bad. Stoke City are a pretty decent side for sure. They've got a really good team lineup that we played against, and it was very hard to break them down on Legendary. But in the end, the game does end 0-0. So that's a fair result, really. And I thought that that was a great way to start off the BPL. One draw against Stoke City away from home. Not too bad. If we'd have got a loss, that would have been a bit disappointing. But Robert Lainton, once again, was absolutely incredible in this match. He's been playing fantastically recently, and hopefully he keeps up that form. But guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you do want another episode tomorrow, I will actually upload it. I'm not lying this time. I will upload it if I can and my internet's not bugging out again. But if you do want it tomorrow, then please be sure to hit the like button. If we can hit 35 likes on this episode for a new season and all these signings we have made, that'll be absolutely awesome. But I'm going to have to leave it there, guys, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.